Hey there, my name is Fallout and I'm a first-time contributor to PlanetDestiny. I have my own YouTube channel called Fallout Plays where I post videos related to Destiny PvP. If you want to check it out later, you can click here or find the link right in the video description. Anyway, I'm here today to give you a brand new PvP guide to the Voidwalker. It's a great subclass for the Crucible and has a lot of good things going for it, so let's jump right in, starting with the Voidwalker neutral game. The Voidwalker has a very respectable neutral game, due in part to the fact that they're one of the two subclasses in Destiny that have access to Blink. As of right now, Blink is the hands-down choice for jumping in PvP, if you have access to it. Using Blink can help you do things that other jumps just can't do, like dodging supers, or dodging rockets, and being able to use the ever-annoying but very effective Blink Shotgun. It's possible that once Weapon Balance 2.0 comes out in September, Blink Shotgun won't be as nearly effective as it is right now, but until then, it's pretty deadly. The Voidwalker melee has the best range in the game, tying only with the Sunsinger and the Blade Dancer, but only when their Blink Strike ability is charged. The Voidwalker melee ability is called Energy Drain. When you hit an enemy with it, it reduces the cooldown of your grenade. The energy drain effect lasts for 5 seconds, and according to the official Destiny strategy guide, multiplies your grenade's recharge speed by 1.6. Well, good to know, but since you're probably not playing Crucible with a calculator in hand, here's an easier way for you to wrap your head around energy drain. Assuming you're playing with 100% discipline, which I strongly recommend, your grenade will normally recharge in about 27 seconds. If, during your grenade recharge time, you manage to activate Energy Drain once, your grenade will come back in 24 seconds, and if you manage to activate Energy Drain twice, your grenade will come back in 21 seconds. So, while not a super huge difference, getting your grenade to recharge faster is always a good thing, especially in really quick game types like Rumble. Energy Drain can be upgraded in one of 3 ways. The first upgrade choice is Surge, which will increase your weapon and movement speed every time you damage an enemy with your Energy Drain melee. The effect lasts for 15 seconds. The boost to movement is always welcome, but what's really great is the boost to weapon handling. With Surge activated, your weapon changing speed goes from this to this, and your ADS speed goes from this to this. Definitely a good choice. Being able to aim your weapon faster than the other guy can aim theirs is always good. The next option is Lifesteal, which gives you health back immediately when you kill an enemy with your Energy Drain melee. This is pretty straightforward and also not a bad choice, especially if you like to fight in close quarters. The last option is Soul Rip, which reduces the cooldown of your super, Nova Bomb, when you get a melee kill with Energy Drain. To give you a better idea by how much, take a look at these numbers. If you're playing at 100% intelligence, your Nova Bomb fully charges in 3 minutes and 56 seconds, if you stand around not killing anyone. I know that's probably not going to happen to you when you play, but just bear with me here. Activating Soul Rip once lowers your Nova Bomb cooldown to 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and activating it twice lowers it to about 3 minutes and 1 second. Not bad. At the end of the day, each of these upgrade options is just fine, so pick whatever suits your style of play best. Moving on, let's talk about grenade options, starting with the Vortex Grenade. The Vortex Nade creates a damage zone that lasts for about 3.5 seconds, potentially dealing about 100 damage per second. It is strong enough to kill, but only if your enemy doesn't move out of the damage zone right away. The Vortex Grenade is designed to keep enemies away from areas of your choosing, making it a pretty good choice for people who like to play Control or Iron Banner. Next up is the Scatter Grenade, which, well, scatters out around the area where you throw it. Now, although it can kill, it's not really that good without any upgrades. The explosions happen really quickly, and so your enemy needs to pretty much be standing still in order for them to take any really good amount of damage from the Scatter Grenade. You can upgrade it to be better, but we'll get to that a bit later. Finally, we have the Axion Bolt Grenade, which will create either 1 or 2 Void Orbs, depending on how many enemies are nearby the area where you threw it, that home right in on your target. This is probably the most popular choice for PvP right now, just because of how reliable it is. Although the grenade only does okay damage, it can force your opponents into bad situations. See? Right here. My enemy is weak and hiding. I've thrown the Axion Bolt nearby. Their two choices now are stay where they are and die from the grenade, or try to outrun it. And if they try to outrun it, bingo. Now, it is true that you can temporarily avoid the Axion Bolt grenade by sitting down, but it doesn't change much because you're still forcing the enemy to do something that makes them really vulnerable, not to mention that the grenade still damages them in the end anyway. Alright, now let's talk about the Voidwalker Super game. The Voidwalker Super is Nova Bomb, which lets you throw a ball of energy that completely blows people away. It's very straightforward, and very handy in the Crucible. There are 3 upgrade choices, and the first one is Vortex, which basically turns your Nova Bomb into a giant vortex grenade after exploding. Anyone who goes into the zone will be damaged and killed pretty quickly. The zone lasts for about 3.5 seconds, and like the Vortex Grenade, is a good choice for people who like to play Control or Iron Banner. The next choice is Shatter, which breaks your Nova Bomb out into 3 pieces. This is a pretty good choice, as it lets your Nova Bomb cover a little bit more of a wider area than normal. The last choice is called Lance, which lets you throw your Nova Bomb in a perfectly straight line, letting you hit targets really far away. I really like using Lance, but be careful if you use this perk though, as it makes the blast radius of Nova Bomb noticeably smaller. You're essentially trading blast radius for real long range and accuracy. In terms of dealing with other supers, Nova Bomb is great at shutting down Sunsingers, Blade Dancers, and Defender Titans. Moving on, let's take a look at the first column of the skill tree. Your first choice is Annihilate, which increases the size of explosions by both grenades and Nova Bomb. The increase in size comes in at about 10%, which, to be honest, I wish was just a little bit bigger. Oh well. Having both your grenades and Nova Bomb have bigger blast radiuses isn't bad at all, and this will probably be one of those perks you take if you want to make an all-Vortex build. The next choice is Angry Magic, which lets your Nova Bomb track enemies. Not bad, but not hugely tempting either. Angry Magic does give you a little bit of extra armor though, which can potentially make a difference in tanking damage if you're wearing the Ram helmet, but more on that later. The third option is the Hunger, which increases the duration of energy drain from 5 seconds to 8. This means that your grenade will recharge a little bit faster than normal when using energy drain. If you're looking for a build where you can throw grenades as often as possible, definitely go for the Hunger. On the next column, your first choice is Vortex Mastery, which increases the range of Axion Bolt Seekers and the duration of the Vortex effect on both the Vortex Grenade and the Vortex Nova Bomb. This is a great perk. In terms of the Axion Bolt, the normal bolt will chase an enemy for about 4.5 seconds. With Vortex Mastery, this goes up to about 8.5 seconds of chase time. In terms of increasing duration of the Vortex effect, Vortex Mastery adds about 3 additional seconds to both the Vortex Grenade and the Vortex Nova Bomb, taking both to roughly 6.5 seconds total. Definitely a perk worth taking. I'm going to jump down to the bottom of this column for just a minute to take a look at another great perk, Embrace the Void. If you take this perk, then you can activate the energy drain effect, aka reducing the cooldown of your grenade, by simply damaging enemies with Nova Bomb or with any grenade. This is another very helpful perk, as it now gives you 3 ways to activate the energy drain effect, meaning you'll be getting your grenades much more frequently over the course of the match. Now, back to the middle perk of this column, which is Bloom. Enemies killed by any of your abilities explode. Unfortunately, this isn't really that great of a perk, for 2 reasons. 1. The teammates of your exploding enemy need to be pretty close to the explosion in order to take any amount of damage at all. And 2. By taking Bloom, you'll be missing out on both Embrace the Void and Vortex Mastery, 2 perks which, in my opinion, heavily outclass Bloom. Really quick, in terms of armor, agility, and recovery, do whatever you're comfortable with. Personally, I like going with relatively high armor, so I don't end up getting one-shotted by the very popular and very deadly Hunter Trip Mine Grenade. But that's just me. Okay, let's take a look at some exotic armor choices. First up, we have the Void Fang Vestments, which enhance your Axion grenades by making them capable of hitting 3 nearby enemies instead of just the normal 2, and giving you full grenade energy every time you respawn. I'll keep saying this until the end of time. Having your grenade fully recharge on every respawn is great, especially in game types like Rumble, and I recommend this armor really highly. Next, we have the Nothing Manacles, which upgrade your scatter grenades, letting them track enemies and giving you a second scatter grenade charge. The Nothing Manacles make the scatter grenade more usable than before, although you still need to throw it relatively near your enemy to actually have a shot at getting the one-hit kill. Still, not a bad piece of armor. Moving on, we have the Ram, which does 2 things. First, all Voidwalker melees trigger lifesteal on a hit, even if your melee ability isn't fully charged, which is awesome. And second, it gives you extra armor to the point where the Warlock becomes really bulky. To fully explain to you just exactly how tanky the Warlock becomes while wearing the Ram would probably take a while, and I don't want to make this guide any longer than it needs to be. But if you want, you can check out a video I made on the Ram right here, which will give you all the information you need to know on how crazy good this piece of armor is. If you want to take me at my word, that's fine too. Just know that for the record, the Ram has been banned in quite a few clan-organized Crucible tournaments, which should give you an idea as to just how good the Ram is. Alright, next we have the Light Beyond Nemesis helmet, which spawns more orbs when you use Nova Bomb, as well as lets you revive teammates faster and be revived faster. Spawning extra orbs of light is always nice, and that revive perk really does come in handy in Skirmish, and especially in Trials of Osiris, where reviving is a really important part of the meta. If you enjoy playing game types where reviving plays a big part, it's definitely a good idea to consider using this helmet. Next is the Skull of Dire Ahamkara, whose unique perk also does 2 things. First, and probably the main selling point, is improves your Siphon abilities, which basically means that it extends the duration of your energy drain from 5 seconds to 8 seconds, essentially giving you the perk The Hunger for free. And no, these 2 things don't stack, so if you want to wear the Skull of Dire Ahamkara, just make sure that you don't also pick The Hunger, as that would be a waste of a skill tree perk. Part 2 of the skull is that you become harder to kill when using Nova Bomb, which definitely can come in handy every now and then. Especially since this helmet can let you tank a golden gun shot while throwing out your Nova Bomb. Just food for thought. Moving on, we have Obsidian Mind, which makes it so that killing enemies with Nova Bomb reduces the cooldown of your next Nova Bomb. This helmet is kind of gimmicky, but I'll admit it is fun hitting multiple enemies with your Nova Bomb just to have it be almost half charged again right away. Not a bad piece of armor by any means, even though I think some of the other choices are probably a little bit better. Next, we have the Claws of Ahamkara, which give you an extra melee charge. Not too much to say here. If you like to melee a lot, then you should definitely think about using this armor. All the Voidwalker melee upgrades are pretty good, so feel free to use the Claws if you love fighting in close quarters. Finally, we come to the Apotheosis Veil with its unique perk, Private Reserves, which restores your health when you activate your super. I have to be honest, I don't like this helmet for PvP. There are scenarios where it can save your life, but at the end of the day, you want to be getting the most mileage possible out of your exotic armor every game. At most, Apotheosis Veil might only help you out maybe 3 or so times during a match, whereas something like the Ram, Voidfang, or the Skull of Dire Ahamkara will probably help you out multiple times over the course of every match. I've put together a couple sample builds for you to try out and use in the Crucible, just in case you don't have a good idea where you want to get started. Remember, none of these builds are carved in stone. Feel free to use whatever perks and whatever armor you like best, but these suggestions are definitely a good jumping off point. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you learned something. Make sure to subscribe to PlanetDestiny, and don't forget to check out my YouTube channel for more content related to Destiny PvP.